It is a beautiful day for a race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway for race 8 of 36 today for the running of the Food City 500 from Bristol. So last time out at Texas, Mark Martin punched his ticket to the playoffs and continued to pad his lead. If you're looking over here between the 16th and 17th, it's currently a 1-point battle to get in to the playoffs. Just to recap, so Mark Martin joins Dylan Murway, Matt Kenseth, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, and Sterling Marlin in the playoffs. So Dylan Murway still has 2 wins. Mark Martin obviously had a pretty blistering pace last week. So we got 125 laps today, and then next time out, we will be at Martinsville for the night race, the Martinsville 500. First night race of the season. Show off some Bristol track facts. So, Bristol Motor Speedway has corners that are banked way steeper than even Talladega ever thinks of being. 36 degrees in the corners, 16 degrees on the front and the back stretch. The Food City 500 will pay out $137,000 to the race winner. 147,000 people fill this Coliseum twice a year to see some NASCAR racing since 1961. See how things play out. Bristol, it's a very quick dive and immediately to the bottom of the corner. That's where everyone's going to be, especially on starts and restarts. If you're not there on the bottom, you're going to go backwards with this place. First lap, we end up 26th. And we'll see if we can try and improve this lap here. And come off turn 4. End up 26th, so we're on the outside lane at the start. So they're going to bunch up. So let's go to MRN Radio.
Welcome, everyone, to Bristol, Tennessee for today's NASCAR Winston Cup race, the Food City 500, right here on MRN. Barney, this place has been referred to as the world's fastest half-mile oval. Add 43 cars to that, and you've got a recipe for some exciting racing.
Yeah, Joe, a lot of these teams don't like coming here too much. There isn't a whole lot of room out there, which usually leads to a week of work in the body shop. There probably won't be a single car at the end that doesn't have at least a scratch or two. Some going to be much worse than that.
Matt Kenseth has put together a great season so far.
He just needs to keep digging like he has been. Sometimes when drivers reach the top 5 in points, they start to push themselves too hard on race day and wind up losing spots instead. I'm sure he doesn't want that.
The 121 car must have had problems in qualifying this week.
Yeah, he was due for one of these bad starts, though. Nobody can start up front all year. You're going to have a bad qualifying run now and then.
Gentlemen, start your engine. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting out front are the UPS Ford and the Dale Jr. Chevrolet. Mark Martin, the NASCAR Winston Cup points leader, will start in 4th place. Starting the race from row 3 are the Ford Ford and the Ganassi Racing Dodge. The 4th row has the Cadillac Chevrolet and the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. race from Row 5 will be a GM Goodrich Service Plus Chevrolet in the 27th car. In Row 6, we have the Lowe Chevrolet and the UAW Delphi Chevrolet. Starting from Row 7 will be the America Online Chevrolet and the DuPont Chevrolet. In the 8th row are the M&M's Pontiac and the DeWalt Power Tools Ford. In the 9th row, we have the Caterpillar Dodge and the Sirius Satellite Radio Dodge. In the 10th row are the 26 car and the Tide Ford. Starting the race from row 11 are the Home Depot Pontiac and the 23 car. The 12th row has the 2 car and the Sprint Dodge. Starting the race from row 13 will be the Pennzoil Chevrolet and the NASCAR.com car. In row 14 we have the Valvoline Pontiac and the Van Racing Dodge. Starting from row 15 will be the Rubbermaid Ford and the Dodge Deakers UAW Dodge. In the 16th row are the Cheerios Dodge and the 98 car. In the 17th row are the Avalon Ford and the Simcoe Ford. In the 18th row are the 12 car and the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 19 are the Dodge Dealers UAW Dodge and the Truck Dodge. The 20th row has the 63 car and the Square D Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 21 will be the 46 car and the Singular Wireless Chevrolet. And finally, starting from the rear of the field will be the 4 car.
So that is the 43 cars lining up to take the green today. Doesn't look like anybody is going to be driving their alternate paint schemes other than us changing the number to resemble Dale Earnhardt's car a bit more. From the yellow and black to white with a red outline. So, again, Dale Jarrett is on the pole. Last time he started on the pole, he led every single lap out at Las Vegas and ended up going to victory lane that day. See if he can do the same here at Bristol. 125 laps, Dale Jarrett on the pole. We're racing in Thunder Valley. And already getting a little chippy on the first lap. Steve Park got knocked to the apron. Loses a couple spots. You're definitely going to see multiple pit stops this afternoon, I think, especially with this being a bit more of a longer race. And it's kind of a 50-50 in this game on if there will be green flag pit stops or a ton of cautions. But typically, Bristol can expect a lot of cautions. So depending on how things play out, there could be the chance that we have a bunch of cars run out of fuel. That is always comes into question here at Bristol because there's always the green flag run that we have to deal with. So you see Kenseth knocked out of the way. And right there, you definitely see why the inside lane is always so important. Unfortunately, it doesn't help that Rusty Wallace hits the brakes, and Dylan Murray ends up running into the back of him pretty hard, so there could be a lot of damage there. Obviously, Dylan Murray definitely needs a strong run to get into the top 16 with a win. Based on points, he's 17th right now due to his poor finish at Texas. And you can see right there, the outside lane is such a detriment because you lose at least 3, 4, sometimes more spots. Or if you're in the case of Rusty, the guy behind you gets impatient and roots you out of the way. Jamie McMurray luckily only lost maybe 2 spots and was able to get behind Jerry Nadeau. And Murray is able to get by him for the 18th position. Here comes Nadeau looking on the inside of Bodine in the 26. And meanwhile, Dale Jarrett's already in his own zip code here early on as Jerry Nadeau comes back and gets into the side of the 121. He seems to figure everything out. I predict today and probably the next Martinsville, the first Martinsville race and the second Bristol and Martinsville visit. With this visit, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 pit stops under green, hopefully. Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon battling for 14th. Those two had a bit of a run-in the 2001 Food City 500. If you recall correctly, Jeff Gordon got under Tony Stewart, knocked him out of the way to take 4th, and then Tony Stewart came back and spun out Jeff Gordon on pit road. No further issues stemmed from that incident except for fines and probation, which those two definitely had history all the way back to 2000 at Watkins Glen, their famous incident. Stewart ran Gordon into the wall. Both cars got together and were heavily damaged. In fact, there was a video that actually surfaced of the two getting into a confrontation in the garage. And see here, Gordon trying to look under Stewart, but he is all over the back of that 121 car. He's getting hounded by Dylan Murway, and Gordon looks to have the spot, but Stewart is fast up top. And Gordon they make contact. And Dylan will go into 3. Past Stewart. Gordon gets the wall and then loses a couple spot to McMurray as well. Dylan Murray throwing a massive block here on McMurray. Dale Jarrett has already caught the back of the pack. He is well ahead of second place, which is currently Elliott Sadler. The only driver that isn't a Ford up in the top 5 is Sterling Marlin in the 40 car. Looks like there's some damage to the 121 machine after possibly the early contact with Rusty Wallace early on. And that's really going to cause his hood to buckle up here after slamming into him early in the race in the 22 of Ward Burton. Dylan Murway, after his starting today 26th, has made his way up to 12th. And is going to try to get by Green here for 11th. There's Jimmy Johnson. Started up inside the top 10. He's hanging on in 9th. Battling with Kevin Harvick for that spot. Moves him out of the way, and then Dylan Murway under attack with Jimmy Johnson. He has that 1-point gap over Dylan Murway in regular season points, but Dylan Murway has the 2 wins to Johnson's none And Johnson hangs on solidly in 10th. Dylan Rowe trying to take on Bobby Labonte for 8th. Gets by him. And then let the rest of the race begin. Dylan Rowe ends up knocking Labonte out of the way, making his way up to 7th. Somehow his hood's still holding on after all that contact and banging through the field. Dylan Rowe going to use the apron, almost get by Junior, slides right in front of the 18 of Bobby Labonte. Keeps the spot. Somehow Dylan's tires are still not dirty after that incident. And the yellows come out for the first time today. And you figure there that was all the debris from Dylan Rowe's car. First caution of the afternoon. I don't think somebody hit it. Hit it there. His car is off. Kyle Petty is the only car a lap down. Green flag back into the air. Jarrett with the lead. Mark Martin trying to look under the inside. Maybe try to get by him. And that will obviously be for naught. Earnhardt Jr., by the way, has made his way into 5th. As things seem to settle down, Jarrett and Martin still battling. Kyle Petty is still holding up the 88 of Dale Jarrett, which means he can't really take off as much as he normally would. If you ever had an idea how close people get to each other's bumpers, let's go on board the bumper cam for a few laps. See, look at how close that Sadler's car is. All we saw was Motorcraft on the 21. Dylan Rowe, he's passing him all over the place. He just passed Sadler on the outside of the corner. Can't quite clear, though. And Sadler still holds the spot. Dylan gets the wall. He's still there. You got 3 Fords, a Dodge, and a Chevrolet in the first 5 cars. Kyle Petty is not for position. As Martin goes up the track, loses 2 spots. And we'll see if Dylan Rowe can try to get to the 88 of Jarrett. Dylan Rowe is trying to feel Jarrett out. Jarrett's trying to look under Petty in 45. And Dylan will nudge Jarrett out of the way. Jarrett on the outside. He's leaving that bottom lane, but Dylan can't quite sink it to the bottom yet. And Dylan Murway finally passes Dale Jarrett, leads the line. And here comes Jarrett right back. He's got a fast piece. So Dylan Murway and Dale Jarrett fight for the lead off 2. That brings the 2001 winner Elliott Sadler into the mix. Jarrett gets moved up the hill. And here comes Elliott Sadler to take second. Leading a couple laps today. Second time you see the lead change. Now Elliott Sadler is on point. And Sadler into the wall. Second caution. Looks like he takes Marlin with him. Mark Martin will go to the caution flag. Here on lap 48. Comes down. And little two-car incident there. Shit. So we're going to pit early here, see if we can get off sequence. See how this goes. And Dylan Murway is out, commits race car suicide, and Kyle Petty will restart back there with him. Green flag back into the air. Mark Martin is your leader. By the way, Kyle Petty got his lap back on that caution. Max Petty up the track to take 42nd. And then here comes Dylan Murway to try to run down the field. Dylan Murway trying to look under the 15 wall trip. And get by the 98 of Kane. Pack is starting to break up a little bit. So it's going to be curious to see how when green flag pit stops will occur. Dylan Murway crosses over the top of Skinner. Will get by him and then force his way under the 63 of Shane Hall and work his way back up to the front. Moves Shauna Robinson out of the way. Yeah, if you had any idea of how busy Bristol rush hour traffic is, you got one car already on turn 2. Dylan Murway just got to the start-finish line pretty much the same time Dale Jarrett was halfway down the back. The leader was down the backstretch, being Mark Martin, who's trying to go 2 in a row. As Dylan Murway is just using every inch of racetrack that's available to him right now. That includes the apron, believe it or not. Trying to move the 23 of Wimmer out of the way. Seeing some more cars. A couple cars here beginning green flag stops. Terry Labonte down there. A couple more cars there as well. So this means traffic could get interesting here in the next several laps. Dylan Murray getting a Ricky Rudd there. Craven there, bounces into Rudd, uses Casey Atwood as a bank board, and spent maybe 5 or 6 laps to get up to the top 15. Moves Todd Bodine out of the way. Tries to move him. Does. He's just flying right now. Looks like we're beginning green flag stops now. There's some cars heading to pit road. Steve Park, Jerry Nadeau, Jeff Gordon pitting in turn 2, which means they have to go all the way around to where their pit stall is. Caution has come out, though, so that's the third yellow of the afternoon, so that could trap a lot of cars a lap down. Marlin looks to be heading all the way through. Dylan Murway will take the caution flag in 6th. So third caution flag of the afternoon. So this could make for an interesting group of cars a lap down. Dylan Murway gets the lead out of all this. Let's look at how many are a lap down. So Dylan Murway is leading. Bobby Hamilton is 2nd. Michael Waltrip is 3rd. Mark Martin 4th. Greg Biffle 5th. Jeff Green 6th. Kevin Harvick 7th. Rusty Wallace 8th. Sterling Marlin in 9th. And Ricky Craven 10th. 11th is Kurt Busch. 12th is Jeremy Mayfield. 13th is Ryan Newman. 14th is Scott Wimmer. 15th is Robbie Gordon. 16th is Jeff Burton. 17th is Jimmy Spencer. 18th is Frank Kimmel. 19th is Kyle Petty. And 20th is Bobby Labonte. 21st is Bill Elliott. 22nd is Ricky Rudd. 23rd is Dale Jarrett, who's led the most laps up to this point. But due to the caution coming out, he is the first car 1 lap down in 23rd. A lot of big names back here. Jerry Nadeau, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon a lap down. Jimmy Johnson in 30th. Terry Labonte, Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth all lap down. Casey Atwood, John Andretti, Shane Hall, Casey Kane, and Shauna Robinson are 2 down. We do not have any cars out of the race. But of course, with the way things are looking to shape up, that could be a pretty distant possibility. Dylan Murway takes the lead, and him and Bobby Hamilton look to take off. Now, Dylan Murway will let Jarrett go. Gordon almost gets turned there in turn 1. Remember Texas? I think that's the message. Gordon will now get his lap back. Junior trying to hold the line as well. So Junior, Jarrett, and Gordon are the leaders while they're getting their laps back. Michael Waltrip gets under him. Park gets under him. Under can't quite clear him. So this means we got 5 cars that will get their laps back. Sorry, Michael Waltrip is the leader, by the way. I don't remember where he was in points, but if he wins, he would be in the playoffs as long as he's in the top 30. However, 16 slots are available. So this means you have to win, and hopefully there's enough people in the points that can get in on points, because if not, that can make for some wild races. Michael Waltrip did take the lead. Ken Schrader's still holding strong on the inside lane, using the apron almost. And into the wall goes Schrader, and Mark Martin piles up, and the caution comes out. Todd Bodine was the 3rd car collected in that. Green flag is back into the air. Michael Waltrip, Bobby Hamilton, Dylan Murray, Greg Biffle, and Jeff Green are the top 5. Bobby Hamilton had that win at Talladega last year, looking to get another win to his name at a short track. Dylan Murray is about to wreck this thing. Pretty much. So after that settles down, Waltrip and Hamilton get away. Dylan Murray trying to keep everybody behind him a lap down. Jimmy Johnson and Steve Park are the last 2 cars on the lead lap. Waltrip let Jarrett Gordon and Earnhardt Jr. back on the lead lap. He's not sure if he's going to let his teammate Steve Park on the lead lap as well. Dylan Murray trying to do everything in his power to keep Bodine and everybody trying behind him. Hopefully he can try to get a run wired in. He's getting loose. Dylan Murray chops Todd Bodine a couple times. So far, everything seems to be clean and green. Waltrip's already starting to put a little bit of a gap on Bobby Hamilton. About 2.5 seconds to be exact. And then Rusty Wallace up there in 4th. He's had some experience at winning experience at Bristol. He could be strong. He could make. We got car on the wall. That's Bobby Hamilton. He gets loose. Somehow we stay green. Harvick makes his way into the top 5. So now Michael Waltrip is leading by about 3 seconds after Hamilton's great mistake in turn 4. Kevin Harvick sits in 4th. Second out of 4 seconds out of the lead. Dylan Murray is halfway on fuel. Dylan Murray trying to run down Michael Waltrip here in about 36 laps or so. And Bodine trying to look under him. So far, it's basically the Michael Waltrip don't mess up show. First time he can win a race that isn't Daytona or Talladega. Dylan Murray trying to pin Bodine. He was part of that last dust up with Ken Schrader. As Dylan Murray continues to smack the wall. Trying to hold him. He's holding everybody up. And caution's out. Bodine smacks the wall. That's the 5th caution of the afternoon. Bodine shoots to the right, smacks the wall, and that will bring the caution out. So this could be interesting if anybody does pit. So Waltrip is the leader, green flag. Little under 25 laps to go here at Bristol. Murray all over the racetrack here, trying to maybe get a run at Waltrip. Stewart gets into Dillon. They get out of it. somehow. Oh. Dylan Murway runs up the racetrack, still banging into everybody. He's trying to, not sure what his angle is. And around goes Terry Labonte and Matt Kenseth in turn 4. Caution is out. And gets into Rusty Wallace to top it off. Robbie Gordon ends up getting a little bit of damage in that as well. Question is, who is going to pit? Are these drivers good? Looks like they are. So that, yeah, he needs it. He's slip sliding all over the place. There's going to be.
Patient, buddy. We got a jam bridge.
Ready for Dylan Murway to become the last car on the lead lap, all the way back in 26th place. They need a lot of cautions here. Or hopefully everybody gets lucky. We're trying to move Jerry Nadeau out of the way. Kevin Harvick takes the lead from Rusty Wallace, by the way, after that, by virtue of that pit stop. And Dylan Murway is trying to move his way through the field. Splits Johnson and Steve Park. Gets by Junior, Jeff Gordon. Remember, in terms of the rookie battle, it counts down to whoever leads laps. Dylan Murway has led more laps today than Jimmy Johnson. However, depending on whoever finishes higher, Dylan Murway is going to probably end up in the top 16 by the time this is over. $16 to go. At the line. And here comes Dylan diving in. Almost moves Labonte up the track. And it gets him to Wimmer. He gets the wall. Wimmer gets the wall. Everybody gets the wall. You get the wall. You get the wall. You get the wall. Dylan Murway moving his way through the field. There's a lot of lap traffic in that mixed. So, question is, the leaders in turn 2. Sean Robinson needs to move. The leader just went out of turn 3 now. That is still Kevin Harvick. Who yesterday got into a fight with Greg Biffle and is looking to go from fight to win here at Bristol. Harvick has the lead over Michael Waltrip and Rusty Wallace here on lap 113. About to work lap 114. Dylan Murway, he went from 26th, end of the longest line, all the way to 11th out of all this. He's flying. Ryan Newman, the other one of the 3 rookies that they're looking for this year, had a bit of a rough go in the first 2 races, crashing at Daytona and Vegas and California. Sorry, first 3. Shane Hall gets tipped into the wall. Looks like we stay green. Newman all over the back of the 121 car. 8 to go. Kevin Harvick already starting to mix it up with a couple lap cars. With Michael Waltrip, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Green, and Sterling Marlin. Cautions out. There's a car that hit the piece of debris, and it looks like they're going to race back to the yellow as Atwood will get spun almost. So that'll be the first yellow, another yellow this afternoon. So we'll see how this shakes out. Kevin Harvick leads. Green flag at Bristol. Harvick's got a fast car. A lot of lead changes in this race. Can Waltrip set up anything if he gets to him? It's going to be either a quick dash to the finish or we're going to have a caution to end it. Try hoping the former. 3 to go. Dylan Murray banging into Bobby Hamilton with 2 to go. We've seen with the racetrack. Harvick has a lead with 2 to go. Do they make it to the white? And it looks like they will. White flag waves at Bristol. Dylan Murray trying to hold on in 8th. Nobody will get to Harvick, though, who's going to have his day here at Bristol as they come out of turn 4. They will see the checkered flag. Kevin Harvick wins the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Lots of caution laps were run in this race.
Well, lots of cautions usually mean only one thing: a lot of damaged race cars. I know the teams aren't happy about that.
The NASCAR.com car didn't finish where he had hoped, due in part to the damage on his car, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can't expect a good finish when you don't take care of your car. Sometimes that's easier said than done in this series. There are certain times when you just have no place to go.
From all of us here at EA Sports and MRN, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
So, bit of a bang-up race this afternoon here in the Bristol Motor Speedway. So let's look at the unofficial race stats. So top 10. We go to the rest of the field, look for any unexpected drivers. So Kevin Harvick wins today at Bristol. Michael Waltrip finishes 2nd. Rusty Wallace finishes 3rd. Jeff Green finishes 4th. Sterling Marlin finishes 5th. Greg Biffle 6th. Kurt Busch 7th. Ricky Craven 8th. Dylan Murray 9th. And Ryan Newman 10th. Look at the rest of the field. Bobby Hamilton ends up finishing 13th, passing a lot of cars today. Jeff Burton 14th. Ricky Rudd ends up 16th. Scott Mimmer hangs on to a nice top 20 finish. Frank Kimmel ends up 20th after nearly starting shotgun. Jeff Gordon 21st. Dale Jarrett led a lot of laps today. Ends up getting shuffled back in midst of all the drama. And 28 cars finished on the lead lap. Go to Elliott Sadler. Mark Martin, Kenny Schrader fell out of the race. They were part of that crash. Dale Jarrett led the most laps today and ends up finishing 22nd. So, Kevin Harvick earned $137,000 for his win this afternoon. Caution flagged 7 for 20 laps, 9 lead changes. Race took a little over 54 minutes. Average speed, almost 74 miles an hour, and margin victory, 0.4 of a second. So, here we go. Take a look at the stats. So, Dylan Murray moves up inside the top 16. Kevin Harvick moves up to 4th with his victory. Today at Bristol, Mark Martin still holds that points lead with a 26 point gap over Kurt Busch. Awards for this race. Dale Jarrett won the Budweiser Pole Award, led the most laps, earned the Gatorade Front Runner Award. Michael Waltrip passed the most cars. Dale Jarrett had the fastest lap. And Greg Biffle, surprisingly, was the best rookie and made the craziest pass in the race. Rookie of the Year, Dylan Murray takes the lead back from Jimmy Johnson, who opens it up, too. We have 6 drivers who have entered their shot in the 2003 Budweiser Shootout. The next race for the Winston No Bull 5 will be at Richmond. There is no winner after Vegas. The top 5 from Vegas will go to Richmond and fight for $1 million. The highest of the 5, if one of those drivers win, will earn an extra $1 million, plus a lucky fan will get rich. So 3 races, Richmond, Talladega, back-to-back, and then obviously Lowe's, and then the Chase Cutoff race is the last Noble 5 award or race. So Chevrolet has a 2-point lead over Ford in the Manufacturer Championship, and Dale Jarrett still has led the most laps this season over Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Dylan Murray, and Kevin Harvick. We'll see you Thursday night for the first NASCAR Thunder 2003 night race this season.